103. Dear Kiddo, take my hand into darkness. A Belize Navidad, my island of moral restraint, and the return of Brent. Well, Kiddo, I did what any rational, emotionally exasperated man does after being uninvited from a holiday trip by the mother of his child. I went to Belize, but not before a quick detour to spend Christmas Eve in Las Cruces with the family, because nothing says holiday spirit like Grandma trying to pour tequila into a mug of hot cocoa, and Grandpa reminding me, unprompted, that he still doesn't understand how iPhones work. On Christmas morning, I headed for the airport in El Paso, the international gateway to tropical redemption. Now, as is tradition with any festive travel, I got pulled over for running a stop sign in the middle of nowhere. Apparently, even the universe wanted to give me one last passive-aggressive. Are you sure you're allowed to have fun? I felt genuinely bad for the poor cop working on Christmas morning, until I remembered he was probably getting time and a half and a municipal turkey dinner, so let's not shed too many tears. When he asked me where I was headed, I gave the most unnecessarily epic answer of my life. I'm flying from El Paso to Houston, then to Belize, then to the islands. It sounded like the start of a heist movie, or a midlife crisis in motion. Once in Belize, I met up with my dear friend, Rob, who was one part philosopher, one part adventurer, and one part the kind of guy who can get you into a dance party, a kayak, and a conversation about existential dread before noon. I love traveling with him. With Rob, even ordering breakfast becomes an adventure in spirituality, digestion, and minor international incidents. Now, I won't bore you with the full itinerary of jungle boat rides, questionable seafood, and hammocks that left permanent waffle patterns on my back. But there is one story worth telling. See, while we were island hopping and pretending to be less pale than we actually are, we befriended a small group of travelers from Los Angeles. 2 of them were women, smart, funny, and the kind of people who use words like branding and activation funnel and casual beachside conversation because they were sports marketers. Yes, apparently that's a job. One of them was a gorgeous Ukrainian-American woman, milky-skinned buxom, and built like a Slavic goddess who moonlights as a yoga instructor. She was lovely, and I don't mean just physically, although yes, but emotionally, intellectually. The kind of woman who laughs at your jokes and gently plays with your hair while you rest your head in her lap, whispering things like, "You seem like you carry a lot. You deserve someone who adores you." And she was into me. Like, really into me. Her friend encouraged her. The vibe was electric. There were beaches. There were stars. There were coconuts falling metaphorically and literally. And what did I do? Nothing. Not because I wasn't tempted, dear God, I'm not a monk, but because I couldn't stop thinking about you and Mom and the fragile future I was trying to build out of duct tape, heartbreak, and optimism. I didn't want to hurt Mom. I didn't want to jeopardize the future of our family for a fling, no matter how absurdly, heartbreakingly perfect she may have been in every measurable category. So I politely declined. I chose restraint. I chose nobility. I chose suffering. And then I came home. Guess what Mom told me when I got back? Oh, I had a brief affair with a guy named Brent. Just a couple of weeks. Brent, a guy she met at Union Station in Denver, which, for context, is basically a hipster food court with trains and sexual tension. So while I was dodging temptation in paradise, honoring the sanctity of a family I wasn't even sure existed anymore, Mom was hooking up with a guy named Brent, who probably owns several beanies and calls himself a creative. And that, dear Kiddo, is how your father celebrated Christmas. Morally monogamous in the tropics, emotionally mugged back home. Still, I don't regret the trip. I don't regret the decision. Because in the end, I know who I am. And Brent, well, Brent can keep Union Station.